Ready?
Espérame. Ready.
Ready. Vámonos.
Salud.
Salud. Yeah, let's get it. Welcome back, folks, to episode 77 of Goal Sided. You got Omar here with the boy Cesar. Cesar, how you feeling?
Feeling great, man. Feeling good. Mexico won last night. We had our live.
Yeah, let's give a big shout out to that. We huge shout out to everybody that jumped on the live episode. We had close to, I think at a certain point, close to 20 people on it at one time, which is shattering all of our records. We had a lot of people, so we appreciate y'all coming out, showing the support. We really appreciate everybody. It was a lot of fun. Cesar drank 4 beers. He had to chug 2 of them because Mexico scored. He did won a goal.
Yeah, it was fun. I think whoever jumped on, we gave a couple shout outs and just had fun with people, both on YouTube and Twitch.
The episode was awesome, and we're hoping to do more live episodes. I know we've been throwing around the idea of doing live episodes of like the gear that we buy. We've been doing some orders with classic football shirts.
Yeah.
Right. And I just got mine in here. I haven't opened them up because I want to do it live. And I might do that this week or next week at some point. Just bust out the bag, go on live with my new setup. I just got a bunch of kind of remote / live streaming setup for my house. Just open it up and show you guys what I got. See if you guys like it.
That'd be dope.
This is what you got.
Yeah, this is one I got. I got a whole bunch of stuff for my siblings because it was one of their birthdays. So I got like a care package of like 8 different jerseys.
Let's go. Take it back from them. Be like, yeah, no, I gotta show the squad what I got. But yeah, folks, episode 77. The agenda is still jam packed, but a little bit lighter than usual because we got an international break, so there's not that much going on. So what we figured we'd do for top news, we'll talk about the injuries that have been happening in this international break and see how that affects your squad, your favorite team, your Premier League fantasy. If it's going to be hurting, because I know a lot of people's are. We got CONMEBOL, we had CONCACAF games, we had the U17 World Cup we can go over, which I don't even have that in my notes, but we could talk about that, about what happened in Mexico. And yeah, we'll take it on home with what to watch over the weekend. We get all the club soccer back.
Let's go. Let's go. I don't know, it's weird having an international break. At the beginning, you're like, oh, we got, like, Premier League was so fun, and La Liga was so fun, and now we got international. But this international break, it was actually pretty good.
It's dope during the game, the slots, right? Because CONMEBOL last night was happening at the same time as the CONCACAF games, and the CONCACAF games were wildly exciting all of a sudden, right? But then you're missing a bit over the last weekend, right? There was Euro qualifiers around midday, and then that was it. And then Thursday or Friday was CONCACAF. So you're just like, okay, there's nothing else in the evenings, right? Yeah. But now we're getting everything back this weekend.
Let's go.
Full slot of games.
And then we get champions soon again.
And then an international break in March. So it's going to be a while for another international break. So yeah, fun stuff.
Let's go.
Let's kick it on off with our little segment on the injuries that happened over the international break. The biggest one, I think the one that everyone's most scared of, and I saw bunch of tweets about like how bad it could be if it's going to be a career ending out for the season. I think it sounds like it's for sure, but Gavi from Barcelona has a serious ACL injury, and apparently the timetable I've seen is 9 months.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Non-contact.
It was just a regular play, it seemed like, and
he was running to like trap a ball in the air, right? And he like jumped to trap it and just like and he just gave out.
But it's not like he jumped super high and was like, oh, look, he's in the air, cayó mal. It was like he just did a little hop almost, and that was it. His knee just gave out, and you can just tell. He was trying to walk on it, and the pain in his face, I was like, bro, like, I must hurt so bad. And knowing the meaning of an ACL injury, how it's going to take a while, and for some players, it's career ending, like you just mentioned. So
either career ending or you're never the same.
No.
Right? I think it's almost impossible to be the same, like by definition, because of how that ligament works in your knee. But it's just crazy. It's very bad. Like it's it's terrible news for such a young stud, for such a baller. I think Pedri had the same injury, no, and is coming back from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, terrible to hear.
He's
but
only 19.
Yeah, he's just a kid. If anybody can come back from it, it would be a kid like him. The resilience that he has as well, like I think he would be able to come back. One thing that I wanted to call out was I've seen numerous of these injuries, and it's crazy to think because he's so young, so strong. So I think just fresh legs, fresh muscles, and everything. When he got the injury, like he knew it happened, and he was like asking for help, right? But he wasn't even on the ground because I feel like
there's like a shock factor.
It's almost a shock factor to it, but also at the same time, he's just so young and fresh that it was probably like, oh, this doesn't feel good. But I'm also like so young that like he almost looked like he could jog.
Yeah.
Right? Really sucks for Gavi, but hopefully he can come back stronger.
Yeah, and also for Barcelona, he was a centerpiece for Barcelona just in the midfield. And you've seen it with Spain, even last season. Like, he's just been playing so many games. Like, he went to the Olimpiadas, and then there's that famous picture of him just being beat up.
Yeah, he looks dead tired exhausted.
And it's so demanding on the body, and sometimes these injuries happen.
Yeah.
And then it's unfortunate.
We're all for the banter, and people make fun of a lot of other players' injuries, right? Like that. Oh, like joking about like Haaland, who we'll talk about in a second. Like if he's rumored to be out with a knock against your team, it's not as bad, right? So people joke around and be like, oh, yes, we don't play Haaland this weekend, right? But like these are one of those where it's just like, dog, like it's just terrible.
Yeah, you don't want to wish that on anybody, right?
Nope. From the rival squad, Real Madrid, they got a couple of injuries. Vinny is out until the new year. I've seen about a month and a half, diagnosed with a rupture in the femoral biceps with involvement of the distal tendon in his left leg.
Okay, so somewhere in his left leg.
A muscle injury in the left leg somewhere. I'm not a doctor. But yeah, he's apparently going to be out for a good while. Additional to that, they got Camavinga, who's out for apparently 2 months after being injured by Dembele in training. There's a video of it.
Dembele in the French training, right?
The French squad, before the games of the weekend, even. Dembele got him on a slide tackle in a rondo.
Damn.
They're just kicking around, and he went in for a slide tackle, and then you could see Camavinga's like not joking around on the ground, hurting, and then the whole team comes around, and they're like, "Damn, did you really need to do that?"
And there was a rumor going around. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, but that Real Madrid will be compensated by FIFA for that injury that happened during the international break. And I'm just wondering how that works and if the rest of the teams get it as well. I don't know if there's something in the contract there.
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole bunch of injuries, like everything we're going through here, right? All through national teams. FIFA's about to go bankrupt with all these damn... But, I mean, it goes to show, I mean, maybe that'll lead to some direct repercussions through FIFA because, like, they're overworking a lot of these players, man. Like,
yeah, just...
so many tournaments.
Yeah, I don't understand how, like, the physicality of a soccer player withstands the travel, the practices every day, the games. During games, I'm sure professional games are a lot more demanding on your feet, on your body. Like, how do they keep going?
Yeah,
I always wonder that. Like, you're gonna get stepped on. Aquí, whenever I play Sunday League, like me duele for 3 days. Like, imagine those players. Like, it's insane how many games they play. Like the Mexico squad, I bet you they only slept for 6 hours and then got on a plane and they went back to Europe. The European players.
For real.
It's insane, how many games. And they're trying to add even more games with all these extra tournaments.
I know now there's rumors of CONMEBOL and CONCACAF talking it up about a Nations League between the two. And then they're wondering next season if they're going to do another Leagues Cup over the summer when there's Copa America over the summer.
Dude.
International breaks, and they just want to have people whatever squads are there from both leagues just play it out. Dude, give them a break. All right, as mentioned a little bit earlier, Erling Haaland picked up an ankle injury after sliding in their game over the weekend, and he was out for that second game versus Scotland. It didn't matter anymore for Norway. They couldn't do anything, but yeah, there's a video of him in game. He tried to slide in with a pretty good negative ball in to try to score it, and I think his ankle just got a little tripped up in the grass.
It got like caught underneath his body.
Yeah, but it seems like he's fine, and he'll be good for the game back versus Liverpool. They got Liverpool over the weekend. But yeah, it's just a little scare for all of us in the FPL world.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be kind of nice because everybody has him and everybody captains him.
Yeah, true.
Throw in
a ver what people do.
See what people do.
For real. A couple of other minor ones. Son, with the South Korean squad, he got a foot injury over the weekend. He was on the ground for a good while, and he had a pretty good statement on social media. He said something along the lines of, not a big thing. He doesn't like flopping on the ground, something like that. He doesn't really usually fake injuries, something like that. And he said, but he'll be fine. Not an injury, he said. So Tottenham fans smiled.
So no flop.
No flops from Son is what he's basically telling us. He's like, if I'm on the ground, I'm hurting, but I'm okay now. So we move. And then Mitoma and Bowen, those were two big ones for people in FPL. They both got small knocks in practice, but apparently are okay.
Let's go. Yeah, definitely too many games for a lot of these players. And I mean, injuries can happen at any time, but there's a bigger percentage happening when they go on these international breaks.
Yeah, I feel like nobody really gets these injuries in their local squads because, I mean, you got the right trainers, you're local.
Yeah, there's no added stress whenever you're like in your home turf where you usually practice on the Comes where your family is. Like, there's no added stress on any of that.
Yeah, for real. And then you're away for so long, and it just adds on, right?
Yeah.
And I think Son was mentioning something along the lines of, like, everybody's got a knock on our squad, right? Something, le duele, a little injury, right? It's crazy, for real. It's like it's an additional job to your already job. And then you got to come back into your job, and you got hurt at your other job.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's too much.
Need more players. Sign me up, coach.
Yeah, just make everyone have B's and C squads. I'll jump on. Like that Saudi league when the third division that was trying to call randoms to play, and then coaches whoever wanted to sign up.
Yeah, there's like they would help you relocate and give you a good salary. $70K a year. Like, say less.
Say less, baby. Let's go.
Sign me up.
Let me dust off my cleats. Let me put the knee guard in my my muslera.
A bunch of Bengay, a bunch of Tiger Balm everywhere.
I'm gonna be sponsored by Tiger Balm by the end of it. I'm gonna have so much shit.
Jeez.
Puro pinche icy hot por todos lados.
Tráigame un tambo grande because I'm gonna need it.
For real. All right, let's take it to around the leagues. We'll start off with Conmebol. Brazil versus Argentina, I think, was the biggest headline over there. Argentina won 1-0, but it was a super hard-fought game. We were watching it a little bit before our live episode.
Yeah.
Crazy, right? Puro madrazo por todos lados. Todo, vámonos. Tú, vámonos acá, otro, cabrón.
It was a game of just throwing legs everywhere, hands everywhere. A game estilo barrio. Like, that's how you play in El Llanero. Like, that's how people play, except people on Sunday, like, they throw punches. Like, they actually try and get in fights. Over here, they can't.
But these are the highest paid players in the world in both of these squads. And they like forget all manners.
Yep.
All, like, you see them play in the Premier League, and they're all pinche así bonitas. Así de taquito. Te la doy. Bien bonito. And they're over there like, toma tu madre.
Yeah, and just flops, and it's a really interesting match. Like, the passion, the game, the energy in that field is just different.
It's almost like a social experiment.
Yeah.
That you take these 11 from all these edges of the earth, you bring these players 11 versus 11, and they don't know how to act. They, like, want to kill each other, and it's freaking crazy. For real, they're just literally going at it. And I think the most important aspect to the game is, like, I will not give you an inch.
No
matter what.
Yep.
And it's like, it's not even like I want to score. It's like, I will not let you get forward. And that's it. Vámonos, cabrón. If you're going to pass me, sopas te va a dar.
It's like so interesting to watch. It's like because of that aspect, because they won't allow you a single inch. And that's how, in my opinion, that's how all games should be played.
Yeah.
It's like you die out there on the field. Doesn't matter if you get stepped on. You're going to step on him back, like that type of energy, right? And it was wild because no Argentinians came out with a yellow card after that game.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's the wildest thing.
That's the wildest stat out of the whole night. Like,
No la creo.
That game, no yellow cards for Argentina. Brazil's got a few yellows, but it was insane with that. What we were watching.
They got 3 in the first 33 minutes. And then not a single one for Argentina, which I can tell you I saw about 5 of them that should have been yellow cards. It's crazy. Like, I didn't even know. That's a wild fact. Yeah, the game was really tight for the most part, and then Nicolás Otamendi on a corner. It had to be a set piece, right? He got up over, I think, Andrés Santos, and then even Gabriel Magalhães tried to come over and help and couldn't get it. But, yeah.
And he's one of the shortest, like...
That's what Argentina's got, right? These short defenders generally that can just get up.
Yeah, and they're the toughest people on that squad. Mm-hmm. Like those 2 center backs, you got con
El Guti and then Lichas usually there. Like, yeah, you could have 6 inches on them. You could have 6 inches on them in height, but they're still gonna win that shit over you. Like, it doesn't matter. Then it's crazy. But yeah, he got a good header, put it right over Alisson. Nothing he could do.
No, and even if it was Ederson, nothing he can do. It was straight in the upper 90. It was a great header. And Brazil had plenty of chances as well to put it away, but they just couldn't.
Yeah, Gabriel Martinelli had a couple. I thought he had a really good game. But along with having a good game, you generally have the most chances. And he had, I think I saw 2 or 3 that he should have put away.
Yeah.
And he didn't. He had the one big one, off of a shot on goal. He got like the rebound and he missed it. So yeah, they had what they needed to put one away. They couldn't. And Argentina put that one away, right? And it's unfortunate that happened to Brazil in the Maracanã.
Yeah, it was their 3rd straight loss. So they lost against Colombia this same window, and then they lost against Uruguay, and then they tied Venezuela. So in the past 4 games, no han ganado ni un juego.
Yep, and they're hurting in the table. They're down to 6th, 1 away from being out of the direct qualification.
It's insane. Spot. Like, I don't think Brazil has ever gone 3 games without winning. I don't know. They're in shambles right now.
They are in shambles. I've heard a lot of things about the coach being already in the hot seat, even though he's only been there a few months.
Yeah.
But yeah, they always have the talent. It's just a matter of making the players mesh. And it was a tough task against Argentina, the moment that they're in.
Yeah. Carlo Ancelotti is supposed to come in next summer. Already confirmed. So he's just
to Brazil.
Yeah.
Damn.
So he's gonna try to do his best with what he can right now at the moment.
He'll probably start at the Copa America.
Ancelotti, yeah.
Damn, imagine that.
Yeah, he'll have Vinny, Rodrigo, just
Militao. He'll have Endrick at that point.
Yeah.
But they maybe won't. No, Endrick won't even be close. He's barely 16.
Oh wow.
He can't move till he's 18. And the biggest controversy after Joelinton came in the match in the 72nd, and he gets a red card for fighting off 2 Argentina players. Rodrigo de Paul tries to pull really hard in his jersey, pull on his arm. You could clearly see him with his arm around him. He was like do-si-doing for those that know how to square dance. And Joelinton tries to turn around and give him one of the with his arms. And Rodrigo de Paul gives a big old flop. A great exhibit of acting, falls straight on the ground, grabs the face, and the ref doesn't even touch his heart, immediately gives him a red.
Damn.
Like, doesn't even, like, I'll give you a yellow and that VAR take it. Toma la papa, la roja.
I wonder if the same treatment Argentina got last World Cup we saw this game. I don't know, but for them to go home with 0 yellow cards, that's insane.
Yeah, that's the biggest controversy, right? Everyone's like, that was a foul on Rodrigo de Paul, right? What happened there? You didn't mark the foul. You didn't mark the foul. You didn't mark the yellow for Rodrigo de Paul. And then homeboy turns around, gives you a little shove. You don't even see his arms anywhere near
his face.
De Paul's face.
Yeah.
And De Paul goes down holding his face, and that's the reason why you get a red card. You would never get a red card for going arms to somebody's body. Apparently, what the ref is seeing, that smack to the face, right?
Yeah.
And then they don't even go to VAR to like try to bring that red back. I don't even think it was worth a yellow. He's being pulled, gives a push to the body, and then the ref gives him a red.
Yeah.
It's absurd. Like, if we're talking about crazy reffing, like, everybody was up in arms after that game saying that there was so much wrong with this match.
Yeah, no, definitely. That should have been a yellow for the Paul. And just, if you stop that play right there, Joelinton doesn't need to push him off of him.
Yeah. And I mean, there's still, when he got a red card, it was in the 81st minute. You still got 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You still got a chance, but not after that. That takes the life out of you. We did get just a bit of a notable a note on this game. We got Endrick jumping in for his second official match with Brazil now that he's 17 years old.
That's
crazy to think this is only his second match, and you throw the boy in, and you're just like, oh, we're up against the world champs. It's a really gnarly game in there. You've seen how chippy it is. Está fea la cosa. Métete, morro. Ándale, aprender.
Yeah, it shows what you can do.
Yeah.
And it's like you're 17. Imagine you're 17. You're like, you know what? Like, fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah, he has no fear.
No.
He doesn't care. He's just got a freaking shoe deal. He's trying to save the world. And like,
he's out there living his best life. He's like, you know what? Like, whatever happens now, I have an excuse that I'm 17. So I'm just going to make the best out of it.
True. Yeah, I would have loved for him to get more minutes with the full 11 versus 11 and just let him try to work some magic.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, knowing the Argentinos, they would chop that full down.
Yeah, but I mean, he also has Gabriel pushing him around the training session. Like, so he's getting a taste.
Yeah,
he's getting
he
that
gets experience. A taste of it. I think that's why he probably did it. He's like, brother, you're about to go up against Otamendi. You're about to go against Guti Romero. They're not going to care who you are. They're not going to be nice. They're going to be extra mean to you, right? They're going to try to scare you, right? And he's just like, Tómala. Get up and smile.
Welcome to the team. Welcome to the senior squad.
You're with the big boys now. And I think he can, I think he would be fine. He just Copa Libertadores. You get the same thing from the neighboring countries' squads, even from the Brazilian squads that are there. But yeah, if he would have gotten more time, I think he would have gotten eaten alive by Argentina. It would have been crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, you love to see it. Ronaldinho also debuted around 17, 18 years old. He played Copa Confederaciones when he was like 18, playing against Cuauhtemoc when Mexico won it. So who knows? Maybe we'll have the next superstar here as well.
Yeah, it seems like it. And then but unfortunately, we had a lot of extracurriculars happening outside of the field. There was a lot of fighting happening in the stands. A lot of Brazilian security, obviously, because they were in the Maracanã, were going against the Argentina fans, trying to like kind of push them in a general direction. And then fights broke out. People were getting hit by batons. Emi Martinez even jumped up to try to grab a baton from a cop who was about to hit somebody.
About to whack someone, yeah.
And he just jumped in there in his personality. That's fits his personality, right? But even Messi was there up against the barracks there to like talk to people or try to give his presence. But all the players were trying to help people, I guess. Craziness. Way too much going on. And Twitter's just finger pointing.
Yeah.
People on Twitter are just like, oh, los Argentinos, we're doing this. And then people are like, oh, yeah, but look at the cops. Brazil, shitty, everything. It's just like, dog, like, déjenlo en el campo.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, it spills over. Esa pasión que tienen both sides, the passion, spills and you get violence. But I think the stadiums themselves need to do a better at safeguarding away fans. Like, this isn't the first game that Argentina goes to the Maracanã.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time they play each other anywhere. Like, you need to have enough security to calm people down and just make sure it doesn't spill over and doesn't turn into violence.
Yep, exactly that. And then just moving us into that, but Uruguay won yesterday versus Bolivia 3-0. Darwin Núñez got a brace, and then they had a really terrible own goal, basically, by the keeper for the third one. It was pretty shitty how the keeper came out and tried to punch the ball, and it like went off of his defender in the goal. But yeah, Uruguay's killing it. Uruguay's currently at second in that spot. That's generally Brazil. But yeah, a whole bunch of mayhem in CONMEBOL. We had Luis Diaz scoring a brace in honor of his father.
Yeah, his father was loving it. His father was like falling over. Just amazing
That
scenes.
was crying. Everybody around him was like hugging him and crying. I was like, cabrón.
No me hagan llorar.
A lot of things pulling at those chords at your heart this weekend. We had Bolivia with their first win. They beat Peru 2-0. They got their first 3 points from that. And we had that video that I called out that I was telling you. They asked this little kid on the street why he was so happy because he was like jumping with his dad. And then he's like, ganó Bolivia. No hemos ganado en mucho tiempo. Ganó Bolivia. And I was like, cabrón.
It's like that one West Ham kid.
I know.
Come on, you Lions. It's the same feeling there.
That shit hurt.
Yeah.
That shit hit me. I was like, ay, cabrón, pinche morrito. No me hagas.
Yeah, on the flip side, Peru have one win in their last 10 games. So they haven't been doing good whatsoever. And specifically in the qualifiers, they only have 2 points out of possible 18. And many people are calling out Juan Reynoso to step down from that head coach position. I just don't see how they pick it up from here.
It's a bit rough.
It's a bit rough for them.
He didn't have a great finish to Cruz Azul.
No.
So, yeah, maybe he is having a rough go. Might need to switch it up in Peru. I think they need a generational change, man. They're still focusing on the El Compa Guerrero up top, and they still got Cristian Cuevas in the middle, Yoshimari Otun. These are household names. Ya pasados también. Like, where's that new generation? Where's my Marcos Lopez?
Right.
That whole generation with Marcos Lopez.
21, 22-year-olds.
Yeah, bring them around. And they got to start exporting desde ahorita if you want to be good in 2 years, 3 years, right?
Yeah, in my opinion, Gareca should have stayed head coach, and he decided to walk away. But they need to find that coach que los va a llevar at the next step. And I don't think Juan Reynoso is that guy.
Nope.
He's not bringing the right pieces. This is like their 4th, 5th game.
Yeah.
He got here in August. It's already November, and we haven't seen a change. So we'll just pay attention to them and see if they can turn it around.
Yeah, I think somebody with the temperament like Gareca would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what that country needs. The players need. They need somebody to push them from behind, push them forward with that. And I don't think
keep them disciplined.
I don't think Reynoso has that temperament to be like, vámonos cabrones. No creo. Ecuador beat Chile 1-0, and they're looking pretty in the table. They're in 5th, which is technically
should have been higher.
Technically 4th because they would have 11 points, but they have 8 because of the 3 that they got taken away.
Yeah.
So I think they're looking pretty good. I think they're happy where they are, and they can easily keep moving forward with the games they have left.
Yeah, strong squad.
Let's talk Euro qualifiers over the weekend. Let's talk some embarrassing ones first. France beat Gibraltar 14-0.
Jesus Christ.
No, ni les dieron chance,
Giroud with the bicycle kick también para acabarla.
That was for like the 12th, no?
Yeah, that was like late in the game. I was
brother,
like,
read the room.
Yeah, just chill, man. Don't break your back. Don't get injured trying to do something fancy against Gibraltar.
There's people crying in the stands, compa. Like,
ya no quieren jugar, man. Ya déjalo.
Yeah, people traveled to France from Gibraltar, I bet. Like, I bet you 10 people in the stands. But come on. Did you see the talk at halftime?
No.
Apparently the coach Deschamps was like telling them like how many more they needed to score to like break records or something. I don't know if it was real. I saw like a tweet about it. That he was like telling them in French like, "Hey, keep going. We need to hit 10 goals and we need to get more or something." And I was like, "Wow, dude, do you really?"
Just put in the young kids, man. Let them go out there.
Yeah, they can do it too. I mean, let them have some fun.
Yeah.
I didn't love. No, it was not that pretty. And then they went over to Gibraltar. This is the most we've ever covered them. But then they lost 6-0 versus the Netherlands.
Yeah.
No.
Super small country right underneath Spain. Yeah. It's just, man, like, mándenlos a la CONCACAF.
Yeah, and I bet you they probably have like some good players with like roots from there, but then they go play for Spain or something.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, France, they tied Greece in their second match, 2-2.
Greece putting in that work this window.
North Macedonia, shout out to them. Let's talk some small teams. They tied England 1-1. We were hoping that they would beat Italy. They unfortunately couldn't, but then they tied England 1-1. And off of an own goal only.
Yeah.
England didn't even score. So, yeah, that's pretty wild. Shout out to North Macedonia for giving that a go.
I was going to call out Albania. It's their first time directly qualifying into the Euros. And fun fact about them, Mascherano is one of the assistant coaches there.
Javier Mascherano.
Let's
go.
So he's out there putting in work for Albania.
That's interesting. And in first
Super
place
interesting.
And leaving Poland in third.
Yep. They have to play playoffs.
Yeah, that's interesting. Faroe Islands, unfortunately, another meme team at the very bottom. Even though they got a draw from versus Albania. Top of the group, Albania, they got a tie. I think one of the bigger games over the weekend was Ukraine versus Italy, and it had all the drama that you needed as well. 0-0, so it wasn't super exciting. But then at the end of the game, Mikhailo Mudryk had a chance at goal, got a little bit of a break on the defender, and what seems to be a very tight, compact play that he was asking for a penalty, got knocked to the ground. The team was asking for a penalty, did not get a penalty. No VAR check
not
either.
Even a check.
Brother, some of these, come on, refs. What constitutes the check versus not? Come on.
Yeah, we at least want to see a check, right? Like, make sure you guys double checked the play. Like,
no les cobran por el check.
Yeah, and it helps.
Ya
the
les
fans.
están pagando.
It helps us be like, all right, at least the VAR checked. It might have not gone their way, but like they are there to check those plays. But they didn't even get to check this play. And for me, it was kind of iffy. Like, I think it would have been a penalty if it was kind of soft. But man, just check it. That's all we asked for.
Just check it. That's all that we asked for. And you're playing with people's livelihoods, man.
Exactly.
Now Italy passes direct in second place, and they got the same amount of points, man.
Yeah, and then Ukraine go on the playoff route.
Shout out to Scotland. I'm wearing their jersey underneath. Nomás que está un poquito frío. But we got the Scotland jersey because, the boys moved on direct. They're in second place, which is a bit surprising. I think a lot of people are expecting the big names in Norway to have done a little bit better. But, yeah, they were able to move on. They did get a draw versus Norway 3-3 without Holland, which was interesting to me because I was like, where are y'all showing up in other games?
No, not this Euro qualifiers at least.
But, yeah, they didn't even have Martin Odegaard in either Holland or Odegaard. They didn't even have Sorloth from Real Sociedad in. But they were able to get a draw.
Yeah, that Scottish team with the likes of McTominay. Okay, that's the little engine that they got. He's scoring in goals whenever he can. So we'll see how well they can do in the Euros.
Super McTominay, baby. Let's go. Yeah, a lot of United players all of a sudden tearing it up in Euros. Bruno Fernandes has been killing it.
They get out of that toxic locker room and all of a sudden they turn up.
They probably get to their other team, to their national team. They're like, ay, cabrones, les tengo tanto drama para hablar de eso.
For real. It's like all of a sudden they get to relax and just play the game, man.
Yeah, they could have some fun. Top goal scorer for the tournament so far, now that we're getting out of the group stages, Romelu Lukaku with 14.
Jeez, that's a good amount.
Ronaldo, what the fuck? Ronaldo has I had a double tick. I was like, what the fuck? Is this from last year or 10 years ago? Ronaldo's in second with 10.
Oh, my God. But he's scoring against, like, Liechtenstein or, like, some other fool.
And Mbappe's third with 9. Ronaldo the GOAT.
Ronaldo's still putting in work.
Yeah, he's the GOAT, man. Not Messi. Messi's not doing this.
Chill.
Highest assists, Bruno Fernandes with 7.
There you go.
Let's get it. I think that's it for Euros, no? Maybe let's look at the table. We got Spain, Scotland moving on direct, France, Netherlands moving on direct, England, Italy moving on direct, Turkey, Croatia leaving Wales out of the direct route, Albania, Czechia, Belgium and Austria moving on, leaving Sweden out of the direct entry, which is pretty surprising in my opinion. Hungary and Serbia, Denmark, Slovenia, Romania, Switzerland, and Portugal, Slovakia. I think what I wanted to call it was Hungary.
Hungary, for real.
The boy Dominik Szoboszlai, who I've been calling, I was going to tear it up. Liverpool has been tearing it up. He scored a brace in the last game against Montenegro.
Yeah, he's tearing it up. He's our captain, too, so he's putting in that work for Hungary.
Yeah, he's putting the team on the back. Let's bring it to CONCACAF.
Let's go.
It's going to be some tea, so we better have some time left. Ya nos pasamos. Nah, we're chilling. Okay, vamos a hablar de desmadre de México. Cabrones. Let's talk about other stuff that happened as well. U.S. men's national team, they had their matches against Trinidad and Tobago. They played in Austin. They won 3-0, and then they went to Trinidad and Tobago, and they ended up losing 2-1.
Correct.
There. A lot of drama going on. Everybody was like, damn, y'all should have smacked them harder in Austin, because for about 60 minutes, I think.
No, all the goals came in at the 80th. From the 80th till the 90th. So basically the last 10 minutes, all the goals flooded in. Yeah,
so the U.S. was not looking great, and everybody was like blaming Berhalter ball.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone's like, God damn, this dude cannot get them to break through a line. It's a low block, right? They were playing really back, but they just couldn't do it. And people were wondering what's going to happen in the game in Trinidad and Tobago, and I think exactly what we all thought would have. They ended up losing in Trinidad and Tobago. What didn't help was the red card to Serginho Dest for being a little whiny baby.
Yeah, that was a big old baby. So I think he had a bad touch, and then the ball went out of bounds.
Yeah, he got a shitty ball. It went too far. He reached it. What seemed like it didn't go out of bounds from the TV.
Yeah.
Didn't like the call, and I think was already having a rough go with refs and everything. Got pissed off that they marked out of bounds, got the ball and kicked it. Got a yellow card. And then the refs started telling me, hey, yeah, calm down. And he just lost his shit.
Yeah.
Completely lost his mind and started yelling at the ref, yelling at everybody, pissed off that people were trying to stop him.
And then he blows a kiss to the ref.
Blows a kiss to the ref, tells him to madre, this and that. And he was saying the worst of things because he was covering his mouth. He was trying to act like he wasn't doing stuff. And yeah, even Tim Ream had to come over. You're doing something wrong when Tim Ream goes over.
Yep.
Captain America. One of the Hemsworth brothers has to come over and try to chill you out. You did something wrong. And yeah, Anthony Robinson comes over and tries to chill him out. Yeah, and Matt Turner was pissed. He was like, get out of here in typical white boy fashion. He's like, get out of here, you stinker.
Stupid.
You big old meaty.
Go in timeout. Go on.
Yeah, he leaves the game, and then everybody hates on him from the team.
Yeah.
Anthony Robinson and Tim Ream have a little post-game interview, and they both are throwing shade. They're like, it's disrespectful to us, disrespectful to the team, to the fans, to the country.
Yep. I think that was a really good play from Tim Ream and Anthony Robinson. Them being the captains, be like, yo, this is completely unprofessional and unacceptable, and we're not going to allow it. You're not going to let us down 10 men. And it was at the 30th minute or something like that in the first half. For most of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be doing that. You're experienced. You play champions. You've played in the top 5 leagues in the world. This is completely unacceptable.
Yeah, and people were really pissed on social media. People were making fun of Anthony Robinson, being like, "Wow, that's a funny American accent," because he has a British accent. But yeah, completely out of left field that Serginho Dest did this. He came out and apologized for it, but it's just brother.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's a learning experience. He's lucky his team advanced.
Mm-hmm.
He's lucky his team made 3 goals in Austin. But I think that U.S. men's national team squad is really underwhelming and underperforming under Berhalter. They should be blowing teams out of the water just because of the amount of firepower they have, the amount of European players they have. They're so young and dynamic. The oldest one is Tim Ream, but he's miles ahead. He's 10 years older almost than most of them.
Then the average is probably 22, 23, and that feels fucking 45. So, yeah, they made it through, but in a funky fashion. A lot of people took to criticizing Berhalter directly, right, about the style of play. All the Twitter spaces where people are screaming about the shitty game that they had, right? Not being able to pull through. But we've talked about it. CONCACAF, Central American teams, and Caribbean teams, it's a hostile environment, right? And it's tough. It's going to be a rough go. Yeah,
and maybe it's part of why Serginho Dest got a shitty ball is because of the field, right? Yeah. All these fields, Honduras, we saw with the Mexico. Jamaica was unplayable because it was just pouring down rain.
Yep.
Trinidad and Tobago, you go to Haiti, you go to Panama, you go to all of these different Caribbean and Central American countries, and they don't have the best fields. European players come from the Netherlands where the grass is super shiny and nice and beautiful, and it's a hybrid and it's pristine. To go play there is they get thrown off so much.
Yeah, but it's a part of the game.
It is a part of the game, right?
Yeah. Speaking of Jamaica, they got a win over Canada 4-4, but we found out that they had away goals.
Yep.
Is what pushes you through in this tournament. So yeah, they won 4-4. Weirdly enough, they beat Jamaica. They beat Canada 3-2 in Canada to move on.
Yeah, and Canada again, another underwhelming. Good for Jamaica. A lot of people on Twitter it was weird. I'm gonna call this out. During that U.S. Panama game, in those Twitter spaces that I was joining, I'm not gonna say who. But they were in there talking about Jamaica, how they don't really care about whether they win or lose. That was the day before.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like the notion on Twitter is that Jamaican players, they don't get accepted to England or to the Netherlands. So they rather just go play for Jamaica and they just go for the ride. But we clearly saw in this game specifically that they do go out there and they try to really win and try their best. And they're professionals at the end of the day.
Yeah. I don't get where that would come from.
It's so weird.
Yeah. Maybe they can't get into that other squad, but they are Jamaican.
Yep.
Right? Their families, their bloodline is Jamaican. They are Jamaican, and they feel that passion so much that they would rather fly across that pond, across that big ass ocean, to go and play for them in a small country, right? Versus chilling at home and living your fancy life in Europe, right?
Yeah. At the end of the day, they're competitors, right?
Yeah.
They like to compete. They like going out there.
And they do want to represent Jamaica.
Yeah, and they do. It's like, of course they do. So I just thought that was interesting.
You mentioned dark horse, whether it would be Jamaica. Would that be yours?
I just feel like de los cuatro que pasaron, like we haven't talked about Panama or Mexico, but I feel like they're the most unlikely.
Most unlikely, definitely.
To win?
To win it, yeah, but Panama's looking strong.
But we've known this from Canada.
They gave Panama. But yeah, I mean, but nobody's expecting them to win it still, right? Like,
true.
So like everyone thinks it's going to be Mexico and U.S. in that final. U.S. plays Jamaica. Mexico, I think, has a tougher team in Panama.
Yeah.
Especially they're going to want some revenge after the Gold Cup final. But yeah, the Panama team gave it to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Smacked them, like no chance.
No, they went to Costa Rica. They beat them 3-0 at home. Costa Rica came out booed by their own fans.
Costa Rica needs a complete makeover, a complete redo of the entire squad.
Costa Rica has fallen so far from that 2014 golden generation they had. And they
because it's the same players. And you're just like, dude, no, you should have had like new people. Yeah. And Mexico's in that same boat, but like they're trying with newer players, right? Yeah. But they're not doing good. But my dark horse would be Panama.
Yeah.
Let's bring it right to the last game, the one that we talked all about for 3 hours. God damn, our recording was 3 hours yesterday.
That was long.
Mexico versus Honduras. Mexico was down 2-0 before that match. They look like their backs were against the wall. Would they come out being booed by their own fans in Mexico City? One of the first Mexico City games in a long time because they play all their games here in the U.S. But Mexico came out. They came out firing. There was headers at the beginning by Chiquito where it looked like they were doing something. And then for a good while, there was just a drought, right? It looked like Mexico just wasn't going to put one away. It wasn't going to put one away until Luis Chavez got that free kick.
Yeah, amazing free kick. He's our free kick specialist. I think probably the best one in CONCACAF. And he came in clutch. It was right before the half, and he got it in. He got his hope.
Yep. And then after that, it became really big stalemate, right? Honduras was just back, trying not to give up anything, wasting time. We'll get to that because that's a big note in a second. And then very last minute, over the last minute, some would say.
Yeah.
And we get a couple rebounds in the box after so many plays in the box. We were talking about all of these plays in the box yesterday, right? Into Cesar Montes, shitty header from Cesar Montes, right? He was the one getting all the balls in. Santi not being in the right places. Quiñones getting a lot of opportunities, right? So frustrating. And then we have the exact same play, but it falls to Edson, and Edson's putting it away, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he has an ugly game, but Edson will come through when you need him. He gets the ball right to the ground, puts it away right in the corner.
Yeah, I think just throughout that whole match, Mexico seemed dangerous, but not nearly in a sense where, it's going to go in. Like,
yeah, they were like there, but like no entraba.
Pero no entraba. You had Cesar Montes who went as a 10 or as a forward for like the last 15 minutes of regular time, and he would get a lot either in the air or just right in front of the goalie, y se la da al portero, or it'd go wide.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and then Quiñones had a few injuries. Just like, when is this goal gonna come in? Like, we're deep into stoppage time. Like, I don't see where it's going. Like, just finish it. Like, I'm trying to get out of here.
Yeah, and it legit did not look like it was gonna come. in my opinion, it looked like it was game over. It's game over at this point. We're not gonna get a goal. Cesar's not gonna drink an additional beer because Cesar was drinking one beer for every goal. And then in the 101st minute, when the ref gave 9 minutes of extra time, which was already people were pissed off about. 9 minutes. About 5 minutes in, the keeper from Honduras had already faked like 2 injuries.
Yeah.
And the ref tells everybody 2 more. I think you could clearly see in the video, he tells people 2 more minutes. And in the second minute of that additional time, Edson scores that goal. They go to extra time. Nothing happens in extra time, really.
Honduras just wanted a PKs.
Yeah, they were just like holding on for dear life. And then they go to penalties. More drama.
Yep.
Looks like Mexico's got it because Malagon blocks the first one, right? It looks like Mexico's scoring theirs. Johan Vasquez scores his. And then Cesar Huerta, Chino Huerta goes up, misses one. Keeper gets called for being off the line. Retries.
And we're like, all right, he's got the second one.
He's got this one. Misses it again. Keeper blocks it. Keeper gets called back again for being off the line. And everyone's pissed.
Yeah.
Everyone. And then he gets a third one. He puts it away finally. And, brother, Honduras was not fucking having it. I felt like at that point they were like, it's over and I fucking hate you guys. And
it's like Mexico siempre hace lo mismo.
Yeah.
Es un robo total.
Andy Najar missed his right after that, and that's what was the one that gave Mexico the victory. And then people started going at it on the field. And then Hondureños were up by the cameras because the cameras went to go take video. And you see the Hondureño player came up to the camera and he was like, solo en Mexico pasa esto. Solo en Mexico pasa esto. Dos penales. And I'm like, Doc, if your keeper jumped off the line, they're going to get that taken away.
That's why they tell you the rules before you shoot the PKs.
Exactly.
It's like, stay on your line. Wait for the whistle. Like, do these things.
You can even keep 1 foot on the line and you'll be okay. And which is what Malagon does. Even though Malagon was honestly like just...
It was close.
The other keeper is trying their heart out to stay within the rules. Like, if you're gonna go forward, you're going to get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people taking to Twitter saying era un robo. Newspapers in Honduras saying era un robo. Fútbol Picante putting up the stats on how much time was wasted in every single play and adding it up. And they said it was 9 minutes and 30 seconds. So that it was deserved. And then the additional 2 minutes, the ref apparently said that it was because of the time wasting in the extra time.
Yeah, it was... El portero se tiraba, el portero were fake injuries. It's like, that's the risk you run, right? Yeah. Whenever you're down or whenever you're tied, it's like anything can happen.
Play the game.
Just play the game.
Try to get a goal yourself, and I'm sure they would have won. I'm pretty sure that if they would have tried later in the game...
I do one better. If they would have scored off of that one where Cesar Montes got beat by speed, he whiffed the ball. He didn't make any contact. If Honduras Palma,
it was Luis Palma.
Luis Palma would have scored that tap in. We wouldn't be talking about extra additional minutes. I wouldn't have to be stopping the play.
That would have been 3-0.
Adding the minutes.
Yep, that would have been the 3-0. And then they wouldn't have been wasting time. They would have been like, we're beating this powerhouse in their home. Vámonos baile.
Yeah.
Right.
And then by then Mexico needs 2 more.
Yeah. No, so they would have needed 4 at that point.
At that point, they would have needed 4. It's like.
Pero así no da vuelta la cosa, da vuelta diferente y pues qué puede hacer uno quejarse.
Jueguen el partido.
But shout out Hondureño, homie. It's like,
shout out to y'all, bro.
Yeah, honestly, from part of it, 9 minutes is a shit ton.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that really outside of this past World Cup, so that shit's gnarly. But they gave that time, and then the additional time I think was needed because the everyone in Neymar was on the ground, dog.
Yeah.
And then cayó el gol. But así es la cosa.
We move.
We move, apparently. All right, Cesar, let's bring it on home. Let's give the folks something to watch this weekend.
Alrighty. In the Premier League, I'm going to be watching Newcastle against Chelsea. You got a Newcastle who's full of injuries at home against Chelsea, who just are in need of points right now to reach that top 6.
Chelsea fans are excited because none of their players are coming back with an injury from international break, I saw. Also in the Premier League, I got Manchester City versus Liverpool. Will we see Erling Haaland? Is he going to try to play through that ankle injury that he's got?
In La Liga, we have Sevilla against Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad is in 6th. Sevilla is down in 13th. So they need points to move up the table.
Yeah, I'll do you one better. In La Liga 2 de España, we got Sporting Gijón versus Eldense. Sporting Gijón is pretty popular on our side because they're Mexican-owned. They have a couple of Mexican players in Jordan Carrillo. They're actually in a promotion spot right now. They're in 2nd. Direct promotion.
Let's go. In Liga MX, we got the El Famoso play-in this weekend. We got San Luis against León, and we have Santos against Mazatlan. So keep an eye out for those teams.
I'll do another one better. In Liga de Expansión de México, Segunda de México, we got semifinals there. A surprise first place, Cancún FC, is going up against Mineros de Zacatecas. Your boys.
So my boys. And Liga MX Femenil, we got La Gran Final, América against Tigres. The first leg playing Friday, and then we got the second leg on Monday. So look out for that.
Let's go. To close this on now, I got the U17 World Cup. We got Brazil versus Argentina in the quarterfinals after all that drama that just happened in the World Cup qualifiers. All right, let's get it then. Let's bring it on home. Appreciate y'all for listening in. Hope you guys loved this Thanksgiving episode. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We're actually going to surprise y'all, if you've been listening at this point, with a bonus episode.
Let's go.
We'll be talking Liga MX, a recap of the season now that we're going into playoffs. Just a little bit of a way of us saying thanks to all of you folks for tuning in, for everything that we got. We got a lot more coming.
Yeah, and as always, follow us on all of our socials. Join the Discord for all that chat. And we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah. Peace, folks.